Good morning and welcome to Joy News Interactive. We're live from Digital GSG A0992539 here in Kokomemle, Accra. We are also on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. On WhatsApp, it's 055-815-7074. So send those messages through and we'll read them to our viewers. You can also join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter. We are Joy News on TV. Let's start with a continuing saga, and I'm sure you have been following the raging debate on the Ghana-US military compact. Well, Defense Minister Dominic Nichol has produced documents detailing how the John Mahama and Jerry Rawlings administration secretly signed military cooperation agreements granting unrestricted access to Ghanaian military facilities to the United States Armed Forces. He addressed a press conference in Accra Wednesday where he produced two separate documents that he says laid the foundation for the particular agreement that the NPP has signed. And following that, Information Minister Mustafa Hamid has chastised minority MPs for leaking the agreement on security cooperation between Ghana and the United States. Mustafa Hamid accused the NDC MPs of undermining the credibility of the legislature by challenging the deal in the media instead of doing so on the floor of Parliament. We posted the video on Facebook and we want to read some of your comments, but we're going to play the video first and then we'll read your comments on Facebook.
This is the second time that a document goes to the House of the Representatives of the People, and then NDC elements in that Parliament rush these documents to the media, to social media, to public spaces, in order to either undercut, undermine, or destroy the credibility of the debate and discussions that will be going on in that Parliament. How can you be a member of Parliament and be leaking documents that are meant for discussion in that Parliament to the press in order to, if you want, generate public discourse and, if you want, excite opprobrium for the government of the day? When you do that, you are undermining the very house from which you derive your legitimacy as a participant in our democratic process. Because what is your legitimacy? Your legitimacy is that you are an NDC member of Parliament. So if there is no Parliament or the credibility of Parliament is destroyed, your legitimacy as a human being in our democratic process is also gone. And therefore, I am just using this opportunity to call on the NDC to be decorous, to begin to respect the sanctity.
So we posted that video on Facebook, and let's see what you guys said. The first one we go to John Smith also, who says, please don't mind the NDC and don't be surprised of their newly stupid actions, or have you so soon forgotten how they are? They have no aims than to do, okay, stupid and foolish, dirty jobs. So that's John Smith Owusu's comment there, and Prosper Rex says, you ain't seen nothing yet. And Kwesi says, are you sure of what you're saying? And Chris Jackson comes in to say, highly sensible men in fact. As I always say, NDC are enemies of progress. If it had been them, Ghana will never develop. He got two replies. Let's see if we can get something interesting from there. And Emmanuel Asare says, what development do we have in Ghana that has benefited the youth? And Chris Jackson says, ask the greedy people from the NDC. And then Prince Nana says, and I see the reason why our parliamentarians are fooling us. If you guys are really honorable, pass the rights to information bill. And Joe comes in to say, okay, let's go to Egyptian, who says, stop that nonsense. If it's a good deal, nothing to worry about. And Kojo Osei says, hold it right there, Mr. Minister. Even charge sheets, which contains 27 charges against Dr. Opuni, was leaked to the media before it was sent to the court. If that is not undermining our judicial processes, how then does the leakage of the U.S. military-based documents constitute undermining of the country's Parliament. Double standards and substandard leadership. So that comment got 10 replies. You can go to Facebook on Joy News on TV to read more of those. And we'll go to Al Hassan, who says they shouldn't have in the first place accepted that agreement with the US government. And Brani says, today you are in pain because it is being done to you. And Shifman Ose says, I love how the defense minister and the information minister have put some people and their propaganda to shame. Ghana shall surely work again and President Akufo-Addo shall succeed. And he got 23 replies. Remember, when you're sending us your comments, please be decent so that it can be read on live television. And Kwesi comes in to say, of course, this is an ultra-sensitive issue. You're going to allow our MPs who hardly listen and care less about their people decide before you bring it to public notice. And Danny Astra says NDC. And he continues, if you want to read more of those comments, you can go to Joy News on TV, on Facebook and Twitter. And Frank B says, don't you think the citizens deserve the right to know what happens in Parliament? Parliament is a public office and the MPs represent us. I stand to be corrected though, but I don't think it's wrong when such documents come into the public domain, unless perhaps the government of this has its own town selfish interest. Please be fair to the people you represent. Note, you are there to serve us and not yourself. So he got 10 replies. Let's see if we can get a few of those replies. And Raphael comes and say, wise words, bro. And Kwabena says, that is why it was sent to Parliament, the representatives of the people. And Emmanuel comes in. Okay, so Emmanuel and all of these people are commenting on the video and they have replied to his comment. And Nana Ama says, is this man serious? This sounds like an insult to our intelligence. I wish he had the moral propriety to say the same when his government was in opposition. What at all is in politics that makes people lose their conscience? All right, it's like that. Oh, and Isaac comes in to say, how many times has Kweku Baku even intercepted a cabinet meeting minutes? All right, so those are your comments on the video we posted on Facebook. You can send your WhatsApp messages through. So let me take one more comment where Samuel says these people are jokers. Nature for water, that is the theme for this year's World Water Day. How can we reduce floods, droughts and water pollution by using the solutions we already have in nature? So in Ghana, close to 6 million people, which is nearly 22%, rely on surface water to meet their daily water needs, leaving them vulnerable to water-related illness and diseases. So I asked you on Facebook, how do you think we can solve and reduce floods, droughts and water pollution by using the solutions we already have in nature? Let's see your Facebook comments, where Abraham says, as it stands, we humans are looking for space to expand our territory. Nature is in the way. What do? We overcome nature, but for nature to find loopholes in our system and retaliation. It's a war affair, humans against nature. And Solomon says, as for Ghana, we shouldn't even talk about this celebration, because in a country where animals and humans struggle over water, and some places people walk miles in search of water and a whole lot, so this day is not worth celebrating in Ghana. Instead of celebrating, let's create awareness. And Edmund says we can reduce flooding by harvesting rains, reduce droughts by financing Operation Vanguard, and reduce pollution by fortifying the water bodies spiritually to deal with the pollutants. And Yakubu comes in to say, they say water is life. Does water eat nor drink itself? They should better think of making it available for living things than saying it is life, nothing. And Raya Jarmar says, we need to develop technology that will make good use of waste materials. We also need to change our attitudes towards waste disposal and management. We need to make good use of physical planning and development. And Demra Dersimon says, we just need discipline and a good attitude, sense of responsibility to enforce the existing environmental laws. And Kweku comes in to say, I swear Ghana is hot. Nanado, do something. And Anderson says, prevent deforestation and encourage afforestation. So we can go to John Bahuma, who says, let's see what he says. Okay. Let's go to Kweku, someone who says, change our mentality on the environment. Waste management is key. And Abdul Malik says, change of attitudes, simple. So keep on sending your WhatsApp messages, and on Facebook and Twitter we are Joy News on TV. So we can speak about water in Ghana. We can't speak about water in Ghana without speaking about sanitation. Let's go to the Cape Coast Castle. The site has gained a worldwide recognition, but behind the castle is an open defecation ground. Tourists who throng the site are appalled and have vowed never to go swimming in Ghana's ocean. So Jojo Kwabana filed a report, and here's an extract from it.
Welcome to the Cape Coast Castle. It was built in 1653 by the Swedes. The historical monument harbors horrific tales of the transatlantic slave trade. The castle has been marked as a World Heritage Site and receives thousands of tourists yearly. Many African Americans make emotional journeys here to retrace their ancestry. Last year, a little over 60,000 tourists visited the castle and were probably greeted with this.
Before we take a quick breather, let's watch the trending video which related to the World Water Day.
Yana inyefte kole na yana American yo yana kole ne nyefte kole na aroko mekani bi fe anya kole na wayo mekani bi kole na nyanya benyena yana ne kene kole enya kole na nimba amesale fun amefe kole fun no ba onye kpa anya kole na anya na kole na no na aka afele tourist fine ona baba pe ba ko ba tami onye kpa anya kole na slima to wayo amate kpa anya kole na ne ona America kole ne onye kpa anya kole na ona kpa anya
I know, I hate
okay, bye-bye.
Understand you guys.
So we posted the full report on Facebook and you guys had a lot to say about it. Let's see some of your comments. And the first one is Sam Allen who says, all right, let's go to Amo who says, we cannot provide places of convenience for our people, but we're busy signing an agreement with the US to establish a military base. Misplaced priorities. He got 28 replies. Let's see if we can get a few of those replies. So this is the report we posted of at Cape Coast Castle where there's an open defecation ground, which is really unfortunate. But Miles says, did you hear a public toilet was just 150 meters away? Besides, who builds a house and waits for governments to provide toilets? Who? And Tanko says, government is not responsible to provide toilets for households. And Kodra says, you see your foolishness. All right, so those are some of the replies to the first comment we read. Let's see if we can get more comments on that report. And Benjamin says, Kwame Nkrumah made a big mistake. Ghana should have gained independence yesterday. And he quotes Donald Trump there, President Donald Trump there. Through the comments, I can see some people asking why they filmed it to show the world. Every bad person hates the camera. Therefore, I hail Joy News for this. Let's see if we can go up. Jerry John says, the government needs to put measures in place to arrest those people that are destroying the image of the castle as well as Ghana. They don't even feel ashamed when they're talking to the cameras. Our democracy is really sick. And Yebo Solomon says, oh, Ghana, why? No wonder we're on the second place on the recent survey relating to dirtiest countries. And Yao Asari says, lol, my people, it's 2018, let's change. And why isn't there a wall or some protection around the area? Anyway, this issue that has been faced by Ghana mostly along coastal rivers, and I don't know if they will stop. It's a shame for us. And Beatrice says, wow, look at this shame. Do you think white people will respect us? And Abuku says, lol, I don't even know where to start. Stopping this is like stopping hawking in Ghana. This age-old practice can't be stopped by providing public toilets. And Ibrahim says, okay, let's see if we can get more comments on that. Jin Paul says, when Rawlings talked of it, you people turned it to politics to condemn him. Shame on you. Even cats after defecating always cover it. And Daniel says, my goodness, no place than the conspicuous monumental Cape Coast Castle, a place where all blacks in diaspora believe they come from, a place where should be sacred has turned into nothing, and the people have the guts to even insult. We must, by all means, even the military force to stop us. And Gloria Baba says, hey, you this media people. All right. And Onapor says, this is unbelievable, and he has the guts to say he will stone the cameraman. Blacks indeed are. Okay, animals. Well, that's your opinion and you are entitled to it on a part. And Mame Araba says, why should Ghanaians behave in this way? I don't think we're civilized. We behave as if we have never been to school before. Look at our regional capital, trash everywhere, and you people want investments in the country? Who will look at that castle? So we're going to take a quick breather. After this, we'll be talking about one African currency. Currency for one Africa. We'll see after the break. Welcome back from that breather. Now, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Tuesday proposed a single African currency at the AU summit held in Kigali, Rwanda. President Ramaphosa said that it was time that Africa stops relying on foreign currencies for its development and trade, adding that it was born of colonial mentality. Our focus should not be on our individual countries, but the continent as a whole to unlock great opportunities and capabilities, he added. So I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of a single currency for Africa? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Should we do it? Should we not do it? Let's see some of your Facebook comments. And Baseman says, our Christian brothers will soon come out and say it's the mark of the 666. And Nana Julie says, single currency for Africa, which later they will shift to one world currency. The prophecy of John is yet to be fulfilled. Watch out. And Muhammad Baba says, to me, it's very easy, it's laudable and easy for spending in terms of traveling beyond your country. African leaders should have a keen look at it to see its successes in our continent. And Ruben Dade says, this idea has been there since the time of Osafura, President Nkrumah, but without much ado, because countries on the continent are tied to apron strings of their masters. And Francis Ampon says, that is a great suggestion, long overdue, but what has been lacking is the commitment for implementation born out of greed. Andrews says, it's the right direction, but even ECO, which is meant for ECOWAS country, only couldn't materialize. The same things which was done wrong will repeat itself again. And Nene comes in to say, a step in the right direction. We need to dream big and believe we're better than all other races. It's the only way forward. Robert says, great idea, but other African leaders should give him the necessary support and protection from whites, especially the French. So those are your comments. And Abdul Malik says, well spoken. I think it's long overdue for Africans to take their destiny in our own hands, hoping that all leaders will rally behind the great idea. Hashtag Africa will work again. So that is all from the Thursday edition of Joy News Interactive with me, Mapita Sibidi.